Like Jeannie said, I'm Vanessa Pladrel. I am turning the big 4-0 this year. But I'll start kind of as synopsis of my journey with neutropenia. And if I cry, I'm sorry. Um, yeah. Okay. So living with neutropenia is a lifelong journey. When I was 16, I began experiencing recurrent infections, painful mouth sores, abscesses, severe fatigue. One of my pediatricians noticed that my white blood cell count and specifically my ANC were low. By stroke of luck, her husband was a hematologist. After many tests over the next year, I was officially diagnosed with idiopathic neutropenia. The following years were filled with fear. I lived in constant cycle of getting sick, undergoing blood work, being hospitalized, receiving antibiotics, and eating high doses of GCSF. Still pressed forward, I graduated high school, earned my associate's degree as an occupational therapy assistant. But after years of living in the reaction mode, my mom and myself, we knew it was time to be more proactive. We began researching many ways to get ahead of the infections instead of waiting for them to come. That's when we discovered the National Neutropenia Network, which led us to connect with Adriana and Dr. Dale at the Severe Chronic Neutropenia International Registry. With their guidance, support, I was accepted into the SCNIR, and that opened the door for me to start self-administering GCSF injections at home daily in small doses. That has helped stabilize my immune system, reduce the side effects that come with it. Then at 24, I married my wonderful husband, Jeremy. And soon, this is where I get emotional. And soon after, I became pregnant. Sorry. It's good. um, with our first child, Liam. I continued to microdose GCSF injections throughout my pregnancy with the guidance of the SCNIR and was so grateful for the experience and the healthy pregnancy. When Liam was born, I recall being so afraid when the doctor came into the room and told us he was neutropenic. Sorry. As a first-time mom, I was incredibly nervous. The fear of the unknown for both myself now and my child. We worked alongside the SCNIR and our team of pediatric hematologists. Liam underwent extensive testing, including genetic testing, all of which came back negative for a hereditary link. The news brought immense relief, and thankfully, by 6 months old, his immune system was strong and his counts normalized. At 28, I had my second child, Ella. Knowing there was no genetic link for neutropenia, this time around, we were much more calm and confident. Ella was also born with transient neutropenia, but by 4 months, her immune system had fully recovered. Both my children are happy and healthy. I continued to thrive through the years with microdosing GCSF daily. This seems to help minimize the side effects that can come with the medication and keep my immune system functioning at a more stable level. But the fear of the unknown of neutropenia can be scary. I often wonder if this disorder has played a role in the other conditions I've developed over time, or if the long-term use of GCSF may have effects we don't truly understand yet. These unanswered questions can be heavy, but I tried to take things one step at a time by staying informed and working closely with my medical team. One of the most important decisions I made was to connect with the neutropenia community. In 2018, I finally took the leap and I attended my first NNN conference with my husband by my side, and it was truly life-changing. For the first time, I was surrounded with people who understood exactly how I feel, and by doctors who genuinely know what I live with. That experience gave me the drive to do more, to help grow this community, to raise awareness, to educate, and to make this invisible disease visible.
Hello, my name is Anna Jacobson. I'm 20 years old, and at birth, I was diagnosed with severe chronic neutropenia. I am one of four daughters, and two of which, including myself, have severe chronic neutropenia. And my older sister, Mary, she is 1 year older than me. We were both born with it and had to take 2 shots every day. But she was at a much higher dose, and her condition was more severe. So when she was in 8th grade and I was in 5th grade, my family made the decision with our doctors to get her a stem cell transplant. Our whole family was tested to see if I would also have a match, but my oldest sister, Katie, and then Mary were a 100% match. So, lucky for her, they were able to do a stem cell transplant. And my sister, Mary, it was successful. She recovered and she no longer has neutropenia. She's very healthy and living a happy life right now. And her condition and her stem cell transplant definitely was very happy for our family. We're very grateful for it, but it was very scary. And as a kid, we didn't really understand why she was having a stem cell transplant. And it definitely made me scared for my future because I didn't know if I needed one because hers was much worse. But when I was 16, I started noticing some changes in my own body. I had bruises all over my body, and we didn't know why. And I was extremely fatigued and sleeping. You couldn't even wake me up in the morning for school. I was very tired. And I also had mouth ulcers and mouth sores, and they were very painful. And I'd never had that before, and my condition was always very easy. I just took my 2 shots a day, but I knew then something was wrong. So we got tested, just like my normal counts that I always did. But they found out a few months later that I had transformed into MDS, which is pre leukemia, which I just call leukemia, but I had to get a stem cell transplant. So we went through the registry, tried to find if I had any 100% donors because from the old previous testing, we knew that I only had half matches with my family. There was one person in the world who was my match, but she was unable to donate at the time. So, due to the severity of my situation, we had to go forth and do a half match, which was also very scary because there's a lot more complications. And even though my sister, hers went very smoothly, I knew that mine was not going to be the case. And I was already scared from hers. Even though it went well, I was terrified going into mine. But I went to Riley Hospital for Kids in Indianapolis, and I stayed there for 7 weeks, underwent a stem cell transplant. Everything went well. I did have a couple complications. I had a liver complication, and that could have been like it was life threatening, but I recovered and everything went well after. After I might have said 7 months, but I meant 7 weeks. After 7 weeks, I left the hospital and I got my central line out, and it looked like the stem cell transplant was working. I did have GVH, acute and chronic, but after the first time I had chronic GVH, which is where the graft versus host, I'm sure you guys know, graft versus host, 100 days after. I think I had it on day 101, and then it went away. I never had GVH again. And today I'm 4 years cancer free. I haven't had GVH since the first time. Everything's going well, and I'm cancer free. And my treatment ended in April. I have been seeing hematologists about every year, and now I can go back every 3 years. And then after this third year, so in 3 more years, I will go back every 5 years. And yeah, I don't have to go through any more treatment, and everything is going well. And I'm proud to be here and share my story and my sister's story. And now I'm at Indiana University, Bloomington, studying nursing so that I can be a pediatric nurse and go back to the stem cell unit and help people like myself. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tracy and this is Mason. And we're going to just open it up and just thank everyone for having us here today. We're honored to be a part of the Voices of Experience panel. Um, our story is like many of yours. It didn't begin with answers. It began with questions. Why we were wondering, why is Mason getting so many infections? Why is he always sick? And why he wasn't bouncing back? Then everything eventually just became to questions we never imagined that we would be asking, could this be bone marrow failure? Um, but among the tests and all the ER visits, the sleepless nights, and all the um, advocacy that we have learned to do, we found out that's basically where we're at, just learning to advocate and continuing to advocate for him. That's all we have at this time. Advocating for your child is not just a one-time thing. It's showing up over and over and over, and then the system says wait, and we just keep saying go. Our gut says go. We have been to 4 major institutions. He's had 2 whole genome sequencings, and I think he's coming up on the 8th biopsy here in a week or so in Boston. And we still don't have all the answers. But we do have a voice, and we learn how to use it. Is that right, Mason?
Mom's voice is very loud, especially when it comes to doctors and paperwork. Trust me, I've seen it in action.
And he's not wrong, but speaking up doesn't always mean being loud. Sometimes it just means asking the hard questions or just saying, I need a second opinion. You are the expert of your child. Don't ever let anyone make you feel small about asking questions. Do you want to do this one?
One thing I've learned is it's okay to feel different. Sometimes I get tired or can't play outside for long or have to sit out on stuff my friends get to do, but it's also made me brave and kind of funny too.
He does have a good sense of humor. That means that's being one of his greatest tools. There were moments I didn't think I could breathe from all the weight of it all. And he would crack a joke about his neutrophils being lazy. They're like the laziest Lego guys ever, he says. And then somehow the world just seems so much easier to travel through.
They are lazy, like, come on, do your job, immune system.
And we've learned to laugh even when it's hard, because laughter is healing too. Just like hope. Sometimes hope doesn't mean thinking everything will be okay. It just means believing you will find a way through, even if you can't see it yet.
So if you're going through something scary, just know you're not alone. There are people who understand, and you can still be awesome even if your white blood cells are lazy.
You can still be whole again as a person, even when carrying something heavy. And we'll just leave you with this. Keep showing up, keep asking questions, and don't be afraid to rewrite the script. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is, that's not good enough for my child.
And also, don't forget to laugh when your mom, especially when your mom tries to cry in public. It's a whole thing.
All right. Okay, Jeannie. All right. Take it out.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are good.
Thank you all. You can step out of the limelight here if you prefer. Thank you. I know those stories always resonates with the audience. We ask different people who have different experiences because we all have a different experience with this. So it's good to hear each of their perspectives. Okay, so that concludes today. Tomorrow we